Hello, Anthony.
Sergio, how's it going?
Fine. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And so the series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is premiering on March 19, Disney Plus, of course. All like Marvel fans are very excited about it. But of course, I suppose there's going to be people comparing it to WandaVision or whatever. I seen the first episode of your series, and it's pretty amazing. Are you still nervous? Are you
It's not so
even if
much nerves. I'm not nervous about it. And I don't think anybody will compare it to WandaVision because WandaVision was such a unique show. In the performances, in the way that show were captured was so unique and so beautiful. Our show is so vastly different. It would be
Mhm.
like comparing it would be like comparing Captain America Civil War to, Guardians of the Galaxy. They're just very different, very tonally different, shot very different performances. So there's no way. The best thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is it's so diverse and well-rounded that you can't really peg one show or one movie on the other.
So in that sense, this series is even like very interesting because the trailers and everything just was showing like the playful side of it. But after watching the first episode, I gotta say that it can get very serious, right? So I mean, there's a lot of like stuff about your character, about like the Winter Soldier character, about the problems they have, about the way they deal with the real world. So that's interesting. So can you talk a little bit about that, specifically
Well,
about your character?
the show, we find Sam Wilson post blip trying to reacclimate himself into society, figure out how he fits into
Yeah.
this new world that has been created from everyone coming back from the blip. So that being said, there's a real disconnect between a lot of people because they've lost 5 years of their
Yeah.
lives. So there is a element of drama, there is an element of sophistication, there is a element of pain that goes along with that, and that's all expressed and talked about in the show. But at the same time, you have Wyatt, you have Sebastian, you have Brule, you have myself. There's going to be some laughs and some good times. So, lucky for us, we had a great director who could wrangle us in and kind of cut around all the craziness that was us on set.
Yeah, your character Sam is shown to he's having like some like issues with money. So even if he's a superhero, people can relate to him, right? People that are like struggling with it, like certainly right now, I mean, with the pandemic and everything. So there's something there that is very realistic, even if it's a superhero story.
Oh yeah, the great thing about Sam Wilson is the fact that he's not a superhero. He's a regular guy who was thrust into a unique situation by his friend Captain America. So, that being said, he's really relatable, and that's what's so great about this show because you really get to know him and appreciate who he is as a man, as a soldier, as a human being. In that way, when you go on after this, you'll be able to point to him as the dynamic figure he is, which is the Falcon.
Hmm. So the first scene of the series is absolutely brilliant in terms of action, the special effects, and all of that. I was just thinking, oh, I would love to see this in the movie theater. And then we go to something like way more intimate and personal, right? How impressive is for you that Marvel and Disney are like doing something so elaborate like for the TV screen? Because I mean, I still hear some people saying, "Oh, we're cinephiles, superheroes or for kids, whatever." But this is pretty impressive. I'm just giving you the chance to be like doing something for TV that looks like cinema, right? So that's very gratifying for you, I suppose.
Definitely. And, to be honest, the whole idea of someone, not appreciating or not watching something because they don't consider it cinema is so foreign to me. For me, if it's shot on a camera, it's cinema, So I enjoy projects for what they are. Um, if you pitch me Godzilla and you say it's a movie with a lizard, when I walk in and see a lizard, I'm good. You know, I'm not walking in thinking I'm going to see Shawshank Redemption with a lizard. That's just unrealistic on my part. So, you know, I'm very happy to be a part of the Marvel universe. I think what Marvel is doing with these shows and the scope and way in which they shot these shows would change television forever.
Yeah, yeah. So at the end of Endgame, and then at the beginning of this series, Sam's still like struggling with, you know, the idea of what he's doing. I mean, he's just like, he got like the Captain American shield, but he doesn't really know what to do with it. He doesn't feel like that he needs to have it. And then at the same time, I don't know. We just, unfortunately, like Chadwick Boseman is not with us anymore. So there's like, for at least for now, like one less, like, you know, African American actor portraying a superhero, or like a guy that is in superhero movies and series. Do you feel in that way, like some kind of responsibility representing the Black community right now, because you are like in the series and there's no
not at all.
I mean, we have Don
Not
Cheadle, right? Still like, but you're the main character here. Yeah.
Yeah, but not at all. I mean, my job is not the way I represent the Black community, you know, because when I go to the grocery store, or when I'm talking to you on a Zoom, or, you know, when I'm just outside of my home, I'm not, you know, representing Marvel, I'm representing myself. So that being said, no matter what happens, when it happens, where it happens, it's going to be me as a Black man doing it. So I don't feel a responsibility, but I know there is an understanding that comes along with being an actor in a Marvel movie on this scale, on this level, and this scale of project. So do I appreciate and applaud that? Of course. Do I try to utilize that as an example of what young men can do, how young women can come up in this business? Definitely. But at the same time, there's no pressure on that at all.
Yeah. So what do you expect people to take from the series? What would you like people to get from it?
I would say from watching the series, you really need to, you know, put in perspective that, you know, we are coming into the day where we're going to have to discover our new normal. You know, the blip is very similar to COVID. So when COVID is over, we're going to have to figure out what our new normal is. In some ways, your life will be changed forever. You're going to have to figure out, you know, what you're comfortable with again. How do you fit into that? So that's the thing that I hope people really sit down and think about. What's their new normal?
So just to finish, was it complicated to end the shooting during the pandemic?
No, not at all. Everybody was very responsible. Everybody was very aware of what we were trying to do. And, you know, people weren't hanging out and doing all this crazy stuff and possibly getting COVID. We were tested every other day for 2 months. You know, it was very structured, and Marvel did a great job to making sure everybody was safe.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything.
Have a good day.
Have a good day too. Take care, man.